Because when you attach your emotions to that food and associate all the positive feelings to that food, that is the trap because they've already hijacked your brain and already hijacked the dopamine receptors in your brain. So they have scientists that have figured out the formula. So that's what we need to understand. So, part of that it's like which ties into this is that we have to realize that okay, between the two things, if you have takeout, because there's also like meal planning services, that's a good way to actually work around this. If you're someone who's like, okay, I don't know how to eat. I don't have time. They also like meal planning services. I'm sure like in your area you can find them regardless of where you are. If you find someone or you can find someone who's like a chef who can make meals for you because there are people who are willing to actually cook for people and design these. I mean, not necessarily them designing, but if you give them like a meal plan and say, "Hey, I want to eat these meals. This is what I need you to make for me every single day." There are people who actually and are willing to actually make those meals for you and actually cook for you. So it's a matter of like you personally actually seeking those people. If you're like, okay, I don't have time and I tend to eat late at night, I eat, you know, uh, when I just have time. Maybe you skip meals, like it's so chaotic, right? So you need to understand that you need to have like, your grocery list, you do your groceries, you have your protein, you have your veggies, you have your carbs, and then you have your meal prep, and then you store it. So meal prep is one of the best ways for you to have like a structure to your diet, to your eating. Because without the meal prep, you're going to be left guessing. It's like, okay, how much did I eat today? How much did I eat tomorrow? How much did I eat yesterday or the other day? And it's going to be hard for you to understand if you're making progress or not. So you need to have structure around your meals to know, like, okay, I eat in the morning, I eat in the afternoon, then I eat at night. And then your body adapts to that pattern. And then you now know, like, okay, I eat before this activity. Okay, I eat after this activity. So those are the things that you want to start thinking about and start understanding that, okay, if you do these things, it will actually help you get results and achieve more, even in your work, even with your relationships, and even at the gym, your progress at the gym, you'll have more energy. So these are things that we have to really take into account. So don't just depend on like motivation and just say, okay, I'll do it when I feel good. It's not good enough. So we want to make sure that we have structure and we build the plans so that we have, a structure to say Monday to Thursday to Friday. And then maybe you have the one day where you just let loose. You just be like, okay, I'm just going to order something and then you eat whatever you want to eat. But it has to be intentional. It can be, random. This day, that day, this day, that day. You want to have some structure to it. And when you do that, it will give you results. So, like I said, this is like an old picture. Let me put it that way. But this is my meal plan back in the day. So this was, I've got some rice, brown rice. I've got broccoli. I've got brown beef, and then I had my potatoes. I just boiled my potatoes, and then I had my chicken breast. So this meal was like, I mean, this is like a staple. This was like my bodybuilding days. And this is like bulking because your ground beef has a bit more fat to it. It's protein, so it has a bit more fat. And typically, with something like ground beef, I wouldn't even put oil in it because it has a lot of fat already. So this is like ground beef, and then sometimes I just put it in the oven, and then it just cooks in the oven, and then yeah, and then I just take it out, and then I add spices. So I would add spices. I recommend spices. Be someone who's like, okay, Nate, this sounds great, but I need food to taste good. Get spices. Get spices, and most spices don't have a ton of calories. The thing that you might be worried about is sodium, but also with sodium, you have to be careful because there is a misconception. People say that sodium is not good for you, but it's actually also an electrolyte where your body needs it. But if you have a specific condition, you can consult your doctor how much sodium you can have because I know some people they might have like uh edema and they have like inflammation and sometimes they have to reduce their sodium, or they have blood pressure, high blood pressure, so they have to reduce it for them. So those are different situations, but you can consult your doctor if you have any concerns. But generally, this would be like a meal plan for like the week, and I would have these meals. So I already know, like, okay, this lunchbox, I'm taking this lunchbox, I'm taking that lunchbox, and I'm having a potato, chicken breast. Kind of boring, just the potato only. So I have like some meals that I look forward to, and some meals that I wouldn't look forward to. But generally, right, like I would, spice up my meats. My meats will be tasting good. And yeah, right now the potatoes are the only ones that don't look that great. And then this is the other one, the other meal. So same thing. And then here I added a bit of like peppers into the meal plan. So this is still bulking. And this is ground beef. And then with some white rice. So you can alternate as long as you're preparing so that you know exactly what you're trying to eat, you'll be fine. It doesn't have to be something like crazy, but it just has to be intentional. It just have to be structure. And then like occasionally, like I'll have like some meals, right, where I just kind of eat something, like let's say get some Five Guys or something. And the other thing that you can do is like the foods that you eat, depending on the types of foods that you eat, another way that you can cook is when you're looking at meals is like grilling. So this is like a grilled ribeye, and ribeye and tip sirloin. Yeah, ribeye and tip sirloin. And so, like, for me, sometimes, like, I would have, like, a grill just after work and just, like, grill some meats and then just prep my food and then have it ready for me for the rest of the week. So, this is another great way of cooking where you're not adding too much oil to your food. It's just like, okay, it's just your steak. You just throw it on the grill, turn up the heat, whether it's like gas or coal, whatever it is, but make sure that you clean your grill, right? Because sometimes you have those what do you call that? Like not charcoal, but like the dead stuff, like the burnt stuff on the grills. You want to make it clean as well, because that stuff is also not good for you. Like chard, like the chard that's on the that's on the grill. So when you eat that stuff can also cause things like cancer. Burnt food is not good for you. So remove that, clean the grill, and use the grill after. So this is another way of cooking. So uh, for me, during that period when I was losing weight, right, like the different cuts of meat, like I would change the different cuts of meat based on what my goals were. And so the thing that we really want to boil down is like, okay, what are the best cooking methods for you to lose weight where you're not adding too much to your food? So grilling, obviously, that's one of the things that I just talked about. So when you're cooking your proteins and with minimal added fat. So again, that's one of the favorites. Like even chicken, just grill it. Some chicken, if you have like skin on the chicken, it has that fat that helps you with just like giving the chicken some juice, some flavor. So, and then chicken also like low heat, not too high because you can burn it easy and it's not made and it's not ready and it's not well done in the middle. So you want to cook it nice, steady heat when you're grilling to make sure that it's well done. And then your meats, you want to make them well done. Remember, we don't eat food or meats with lifeblood inside. So you want to make sure that it's well done. And you want to stay away from rare meats. You want to stay away from rare meats. You want to eat well done food that's cooked. Food with no blood. Don't mix milk and blood as well. So like that's cooking methods. And then another option is baking. Like I said, the baking is good, reduces the necessary oils and frying fat. So that's the thing. Like when you're baking stuff, if you need a bit of oil, you can just spray a bit of oil on on the food. All right, so that's one way of doing it. And then the other thing that you can do is using an air fryer. So air fryer is another one of my favorite air fryer because I don't know, it's so convenient. Whoever came up with that is a genius. And Yeah, because in air fryer, you marinate your food and then it gives you like different settings that you can put on, and you can just put your food in the air fryer, pull it out, it's done. It's like a mini oven, right? So convenient. So convenient. Mini oven. And yeah, so you can make your veggies, you can make your chicken, you can make your carbs like your potatoes, for example. You can cook it in there. Some people even bake in an air fryer. You can do so much with an air fryer. But it's something that, if you have access to it, and if you don't, at least you still have like the different cooking methods that you can use. And then you have steaming. Steaming is great for like veggies, right? Like your veggies, and like I said, you're preserving your nutrients without adding calories as well. So you're just using like your steaming. So like let's say for example, you cook your veggies. One of the things that I learned from my mom was like you cook your rice, for example. I think you have some of these rice cookers which have like levels where you have your rice on the bottom, and then you have like this layer where you can add your veggies on top, so that as the rice is cooking, your veggies is also being steamed, and you're not boiling, and they're still crispy, and you can tell like, okay, this it's soft enough for you to bite and chew, but it's also crispy at the same time. So that's what you want to really opt for when you're looking at like things like veggies, like steaming your veggies, right? You can still bake your veggies, which is still good, and air fry them. And then the other thing is controlled stir fries. So again, with the stir fries, this bad boy is your go-to, right? 0 calories. This is, this option is called PAM, right? This is olive oil, non-stick cooking spray. So that's the main thing, like with the cooking sprays, like you want it to be non-stick. And then when you add the cooking spray, right, it's non-stick. It's easy for you to actually make your meals, and you can actually see like, okay, like is the food tasting good? Is it burning? Is it not burning? So stir fry is a great way to actually still add some flavor to your food, and you can kind of have that crispy taste where you're like, okay, it's fried, but always if you're going to use like the oil, if you're going to use the oil, make sure that you're measuring the oil using a spoon, so that you know exactly how much you're adding. And then yeah, like it's so important for us to understand like better preparation makes fat loss easier to repeat. So it has to be something that you can repeat on a daily basis. Because if it's something that's hard to repeat on a daily basis, depending on like which cooking method you enjoy, because like you can choose like maybe 1, 2 cooking methods. It doesn't mean that you have to do everything, but you can choose like 1 or 2 cooking methods. And when you choose the cooking methods, you will realize and figure out like, okay, for me right now, I want to cook, but I don't have time. What option saves me time? What option gives or adds more taste and flavor to my food? So that's what you want to really understand before you start cooking. It's like, what option is the best? And then when you pick those, you're like thinking to yourself, like, which option can I repeat over and over? Which one's easier for me? So those are the things that you have to think about. And when you think about those things and you understand like, okay, what you can actually use, then you can actually figure out like, okay, I can actually keep on doing this, right?